Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing the top 10 most anticipated comics for February. So let's jump into the top 10. Number 10 for me is actually the title of this video, so Dark Web Finale. The reason it's number 10 is that I really want to see Dark Web stick the landing. I haven't been loving this arc. I'm just curious what this whole arc's gonna be about. I think that's what I've been kind of missing from it. And maybe it's just because there's characters that I'm usually not into that are involved here, especially Ben Reilly. But yeah, I hope there's a big moment to really showcase where Spider-Man's going. So that is why it's on my anticipated list, but it is number 10. Moving on to number 9, which is Harrower issue 1. It's a Boom Studios book, and I love horror. I very much love slasher stories in particular, and this kind of has a something is killing the children vibe. It has to do with this girl who is obsessed with this slasher character, and we get to see what that journey is about, and it kind of puts the final girl on its head because she's the one kind of chasing and looking for the slasher instead of the reverse. So I'm very curious to see where that title is going to go. Moving on to number 8, speaking of horror, this kind of has a horror vibe to it, which is Blood Tree issue 1. It's about 2 detectives trying to find this boogeyman type monster. Another added plus is that this book is actually on Zest World, and you know, my biased opinion, I work for Zest World, so being fully transparent there, but I love the platform, and yeah, I'm really curious and happy to see some of those titles that are on the platform go into print and kind of join the direct market as well through Image Comics. Moving on to number 7, which is Batman/Superman World's Finest issue 12. And this is a start of a new arc. And there's many elements of World's Finest that I've been really enjoying. But one of the elements I've been curious about to see the series explore a bit more, and we've seen tidbits of, is Robin and Supergirl's relationship. And it seems like this one's going to dive into that a little bit more. Moving on to number 6, which is Bloodline, Daughter of Blade, issue 1. This is a book that was actually supposed to come out years ago, and it was super delayed, and now I'm guessing they've kind of reimagined the book. I don't know why they didn't release the book all that time ago, but now we're finally getting it. We're getting a new era of Blade, which honestly is a character I don't think I've ever read unless he's, shown up as a guest character somewhere else. So I also want to get into the mythology of Blade, and I think this hopefully will be a good way to do that while introducing a new character. Speaking of Spider-Man, number 5 is Red Goblin, issue 1, and I thought this was going to be Dark Web related, but maybe it'll just be post-Dark Web. And this has to do with Norman Osborn. So this is the grandson of Norman Osborn. And depending on where Gold Goblin ends, is he going to be a villain? Is he going to be playing more with the current Norman Osborn version of the character? And then also you have the idea of Liz Allen being played here. I don't feel like the Osborn family has had such a spotlight in a way that it has now. So I hope it sticks the landing as well. And I'm very curious about this one just because it's such a different angle for the Spider-Man family, we'll call it. All right, moving on to number 4, Superman issue 1. I am very, very excited for this one. The reason why it's not number 1 is just because I'm always have my reservations for Superman. I'm always so excited to be like, oh, this is going to be the title that gets me into Superman. And so I have some reservations on it, but I really feel like there's some home runners here. We have Campbell on art, who has done stuff with Naomi, which is some of my favorite art from DC Comics. And then, of course, Joshua Williamson, one of my favorite writers in general, writing this one. And already the things that I've heard about the series, like where Lois Lane's going to go and his thoughts on Superman, gets me very excited to see where this run's going to go. Moving on to number 3, which is Local Man issue 1, and this is some heavy hitters here. We have Tim Seeley writing, and then also on art is the creator of Stray Dogs. I mean, how do you go wrong on that? And then the actual genres being hit here is noir, rural noir to be specific, and superheroes. And one of my favorite comics of all time is Revival. So that is Tim Seeley tackling rural noir, and then having Stray Dogs being this Disney-fied mystery type story, and maybe I would even say noir. Having these two minds kind of collide together gets me super excited for this one. Moving on to number 2, which is Specs issue 4. This is the last issue of Specs, and I really feel like this has been one perfect series. I really hope that the ending is just as good as the journey, because there's so many elements I enjoyed about this series. It's about two boys who gets these pair of glasses, gets to wish the world, and see how that definitely goes wrong very quickly. So how does a book about wanting everything and the results of that end? Does it end in death? Because that's something that they've definitely have been foreshadowing. Moving on to number 1. This is all about horror this month. It's not even October. But Chilling Adventures presents Betty the Final Girl. I talked about it. I love slashers, so of course this is the one I'm most excited for. I'm so excited to see what they're going to do with Betty. One thing I love about Archie in general is how they've been able to reinvent characters into different genres. Like literally last week I just read a post-apocalyptic Mad Max story with Archie, and now we're getting slashers with Betty. So I love that this is a company that can do that and get to see characters that have existed for so long playing in different playgrounds. So that's my number 1 pick. Let me know in the comments below what are the books you're most anticipating this month, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and I will see you guys in the next one.